ahead and clear the screen for yourself, and we'll get to it. Okay. So upright seat, central channel, right through. A couple moments of doing nothing, even if, as naturally will occur, that doing nothing includes sort of checking in with the neck, the shoulders, leaning the torso, something that feels like it helps just settle you into your body, right? So that can still be part of meditation. It's not like meditation has to be rigid and held, but more that it's a settling of the awareness into the tissues, and usually that encounters, that is accompanied with encountering little barnacles and stuck spots. This is one of the most valuable skills to be, it's like the essential building block of having your own practice, which I've mentioned multiple times, is the real way that these tools that you're learning in this class and Monday class, and really any teacher you're working with, they're just offering tools. And so that toolkit, when applied to your own practice, starts to have actual, ripple effects and accumulative value. So just thinking of this practice as looking back over the week and saying, did you find a moment to just be present, breathe in, breathe out, feel what's going on in the various layers of you, right? If you just think about what, basic anatomical science recognizes, we have many layers, from skin and muscle and various other types of tissue to the liquid layer that makes us up. Everything from blood and plasma to lymphatic fluid, lymph fluid, to other types of fluid. And then we have that electrical layer. We have the chemical layer that's running around in the fluid matrix, running around and inserting here and, floating from there. So when we're sitting and just being present, breathing, we're just recognizing these multiple layers. But then there's the idea of subtle energy that might be or might not be useful to recognize or consider. That would be the various channels. The central channel running from the tip-top crown down to the perineum, that central line. Then the belt meridian from belly button to the lower back behind that, running around in a circle. And we have a front channel going down, so they say, and a back channel going up the back side. So these kind of wheels, these rotating, spinning wheels. And so then our Tai Chi movement helps to pump, flush, flow at that level. So useful or not. Let's add a little bit of movement here. Sliding the hands past the knees, drop the head gently, soft round. Slide the hands back, pull the elbows back, gently arch. 2 more just like it. "24 vertebra, all getting just a little bit of wake up a connection to the brain. And movement can be looked at as food for the brain. The brain yearns for it because that's one of its main functions, is to control and create movement. Let's come back to neutral, rotations. Slide left hand forward, right hand elbow back, turn softly to the right. And then switch softly to the left. And just gentle twists at your pace. Not trying to force anything. You're just recognizing, oh yeah, my body moves this way in a rotational plane, rotational direction. The more you feed your brain these various pathways, the more they stay polished and functional. Come back to neutral, right in the middle. Lateral movements, sideways, just a soft lean to the right. Softly like a palm tree, coming back up and leaning to the left. And back up and right. And up and left. Couple more, same idea. Just recognizing for the brain, for the nervous system, for the structure, for the tissue, that these are doorways, pathways that need to be open, that could be open. And if they're not open, they develop rust and stagnation and blockage. Back to the middle, let's do our shoulder blade circles. Forward, up, back, down. This helps us loosen up our top heavy quality. When we're holding tension in our chest, shoulders, and upper body, we're actually creating a top heavy state that's easy to tip over. Reverse those circles. So now the shoulder blades go back and then up and then forward and then down. One more. And bend your elbows. Bring your hands up. Elbows out. Down. In. Down. Out. Down. In. Down. One more. So again, same idea, just getting rid of that top heavy bound up state. Let's go elbows back, down. When the elbows go down, the hands are up. Elbows forward, the hands go over the shoulders. Elbows up, if that's open for you, hands go onto the back, right? And then elbows forward, elbows down, elbows back. Down, forward, up. Forward, down, back. Down, forward, up. And elbows out, one higher than the other. Wrap around and hug yourself. Release the hug, elbows out to the side. One other, then switch which one's above, below. Hug. Elbows out to the side. Switch. Hug. Elbows out to the side. And out to the side. Arms come down. Scoot a little bit back in your chair. One leg. Lift. Push. Lift. Set it down. Other leg, lift, push, lift, down. So chances are, if you were to take a moment before heading out into the world, and you did something like this, where you're in your chair, you're sitting, you're breathing, you go through the various pathways and movement options in a stress-free state in the chair, then when you stand up and go to move around your house or around the world, probably get better results. Now, straighten the leg out and point and flex. Very important to make sure the foot feels loose at the bottom rather than stiff. Go in a little, out a little, called evert, invert. And then circles. And reverse circles. So the stiffer the foot and leg relationship, the more brittle, the more easy it is to, fall, the whole body fall, rather than having that adaptability. Let's go other foot, point and flex. Invert, evert. Circles. Other way, circles. And down, scoot to the front edge. Swivel steps, turning left knee and toes out. Then swivel the heel out, the knee comes in. Toe out, knee out. Heel out, knee in. Toe out and hold. Walk it back in. 1, the heel comes in. 2, toe in. 3, heel in. 4, neutral. Let's go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and neutral. Other direction. 1, heel out, knee in. 2, toe out, knee out. 3, heel out. 4, and open. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. And once more. Hold. And walk it. And back to neutral. Forward folds. Legs stay stable. Hips. Fold. Sit upright. Lean back a little. Sit upright. Fold forward. Sit upright. Lean back. One more. And vertical. Arms hang down alongside you. Back your feet up a little bit so the ankles are behind the knees. Softly fold. Arms, shoulders, head beyond the ankles. And then standing up as easy as can be. And go back down. The butt goes back. The knees haven't bent yet. And then it's the sinking of the butt. Let's do that 3 more times at your own pace. Soft as can be. So your goal is to feel the effortless path up. This is one of the best exercises when done correctly, because it really shows us how, it's quite an accomplishment in a way to get from sitting to standing. And when we can do it with no effort, that tells you that you can accomplish strength-related experiences with softness. And then that just expands into the practice of Tai Chi. And stay up. Let's do 4 squats. But make sure it's that Taoist quality squat where the tail only goes back the amount needed. You make sure your knees are happy and your back is open and your arms are loose. And stand. So what we're looking for is this pathway through. They call this the courtyard, this space right in front. The tail goes back and we just slide right through. And up. And again, it's not a huge forward fold, right? We're not just throwing our torso out there. The butt goes back, it's sitting quite low. And then up. One more time. And up. Now, you got your chairs arranged, they're within reach. Pick one to be your support one, and you can have your hand on it or not, but let's do this opening balance practice. Change the weight through the right leg, left heel lifts up, get even to the tippy toe, and then lower that foot down, but don't have any weight in it or have less weight, and then change and feel that casual quality of just kind of letting the leg support you. And then that empty leg, get to the tippy toe, place it back down. Change. Wait for it to be empty. Try to lift that empty foot and then change. Your goal is to feel the differential change. Lift, lower, feel the differential change. Lift, lower. So separating the shift and the movement of the empty foot. So that is shift without stepping or lifting, lift and lower without shifting. Shift without moving it, move it without shifting, shift, right? And eventually this can get so light and empty that, and that's a pretty big movement of the leg, but when you empty it, it's not because you're so strong that you can lift it, it's because you've actually let it become loose. Last one. All right, now let's all be near the your right side chair. This is my left hand, but I'll say it is my right. Empty right foot, your right foot, and put the heel out in front. Rocking chair. Just rock into the front foot, get to the empty quality in the back foot, toe stays on the ground, and then rock back. Rock forward. Rock back. Check teacup on top of head. Feeling of soft ease through the body. And just note that with the same ease as a rocking chair, you can rock forward and back. You can change from one leg to the other leg. Now, staying in your back leg, this front foot empty, hand on chair as needed. Lift a straight leg, lower to the heel, rock. Back foot, bend the knee and pull the heel to your butt, kind of like a flamingo, and then place the toe down behind you a bit and shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Flamingo, toe down, shift. This is our level 2. And for level 3, hand on chair as needed, that lift, place the heel back down, rocking chair into the foot, and then your back foot, not only heel to butt, but knee forward and up, and then toe reaches back and we shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Lift, reach back, shift. More. 2 more on your own. All righty. Now, switching sides, bring the feet together, side step out, and go to your other chair. Hand near it, so it's there if you need it. You can have hand on the whole time or not at all, but it's there if you need it. Now, empty this inside leg. Should be your left leg now. Heel touching and empty. And then like a rocking chair, rock. Get this back foot to the empty quality. Rock. Front foot, empty quality. So feel that differential change. differential chain. Feel the flotation of your central line, especially sort of consolidated right at the navel, belly button height. That's the idea that that's like the middle of the middle of the middle is deep to the belly button. And we just have this floating internal central line that we just are cruising around space with. All right, so we're never feeling that instability because we have it internally. Now this leg, lift, lower, shift. Back foot, lift, lower, shift back. Gary, you became unmuted there, so I'll mute you. So again, we're doing level 2. So it's disconnect from the floor and reconnect, tests whether it's really empty, shift, and then disconnect like a flamingo, reconnect the toe, and shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Heel, toe, shift. Sorry, straight leg. Couple more. That's level 2. So again, you're working on this floating center that gets really good at using one leg only or its connection to the root. Now, level 3, knee bends and comes up. Leg goes down, heel touches, still empty. Shift. Back leg, heel to butt, knee comes up. Reach the toe back, shift back. Floating center. Separate yin and yang, or empty and full. The better you get at that, the freer you will be to move around the world. Because our legs are the key to that, right? So, differential. Last one. Switching sides again. Feet together, side step. So you're closer to this chair. Use it as needed. Empty the right leg, inside leg, heel softly touching. Now the walk. So as casual as can be, floating center, you shift and wait until this back foot's empty, then float the empty foot, touch the heel to the ground, shift into it. Now this foot's empty. Now right foot full, left empty, swing it back, toe touch stays empty, shift back. So if you focus on this stuff that I'm saying, which is wait until it's actually empty, step it while it's still empty, and then shift into it. If you slow down enough to make those discerning lines, wait for it, shift. Then you can, over time, move swiftly through space because you're really good at the essential skill, which is empty, full, empty, full, empty, full, empty, full, right? Couple more. Level 1 is just casual, easy, loose. Let's go level 2. So lift, lower, then shift. Now this back leg, we're stepping up over a small obstacle. So heel to butt, pick the foot up and over, land the heel, shift. Flamingo, toe down, shift back. Now this leg lifts in front straight, knee bends, heel comes under, and then you push back through the heel and touch the toe to the ground. Shift back. Lift, lower, shift. This one's usually easy, stepping up and over, or easier, because we're moving forward, we can see everything in front of us. When we do this movement going back, there's trickiness to it. This lift, tuck, and then push the leg back. Your body has to recalibrate its balance and then shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Floating middle, step up and over, floating middle. Lift, lower, back. tuck, reach, back. One more level 2. And level 3 is where you really might need that chair. Knee up, down. Now we just exaggerate this portion. Heel to butt. Knee as high as you want to take it. Foot out, down. Shift. And then bring that knee up in front. Reach back, shift back. Now we're going up, tuck, reach, shift back. Up. And do it again. Shift. Heel to butt. Knee up, foot forward, lowered. Shift. Knee up. Back. Last one. Rocking chair in between. Rocking chair. Switching sides, feet together, step to the side, shift over near your other chair. Inside foot should be your left foot now, forward. Level 1, as casual as can be. Just rock, swing that empty foot, rock. Rock back, swing the empty foot, toe touch, rock back. Rock, swing, rock. Rock back, swing back, rock back. Again. One more. Just easy. Feel that ease. Now level 2. Lift, lower, shift. There's a small thing on the floor. Step over it. Shift. Heel comes up, toe down. Now, this one's often harder. So we shift back. Now the leg comes up in front, knee bends so the foot tucks under, and then we push back through the foot, touch the floor, and then shift. Lift, lower, shift. So it's usually pretty achievable to step without going into this leg once you've gotten the basics. But here, much more difficult to lift, tuck, and reach the foot without putting any weight. You're staying somewhat forward, and then you go back. Lift, lower, 2 more. Up, over, shift. Lift, lower, back, lift, tuck, reach, shift back, lift, lower. And let's do our level 3. Knee up, down, shift. Exaggerated, heel to butt, knee up, foot forward, lower, shift. Knee up, reach back, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Floating middle. Loose limbs. Ease. And step your feet together. Step them a little wide. And pause there for a moment. So we're going to need a runway where you can take 4 or 5 steps in a direction and then 4 or 5 steps back. So you could go in between your chairs and back. I'm going to go side to side so you can see it. I'm going to move my chairs back. Tilt this just a bit. All right, so let's go to one side of the runway. Level 1, so it's empty 1 foot, and this would be great to use your walker or a cane if you need to. Okay, so the heel is out, rocking chair, wait for this one to be empty, swing it forward, the heel touches, rocking chair, swing, And so feel this transfer. Want to make a lot out of that. Want to really experience the joint and tissue and nervous system, this transfer, the richness of that moment. And then we go backwards, rock, wait for the front foot to be empty. Then it just swings back, the toe is empty, shift, swing back, shift. So make sure you're not going too fast there, especially Gary. That's what I'm noticing. You're there and back before, and that means you're missing some of this richness here for the nervous system. Put the foot out, slow. Like I'm not just going this slow as a teaching mechanism, even though I am, but it's actually where the magic happens, is this transfer. And eventually you can read that data quicker and quicker. Let's go back, rock, swing, touch, rock, swing, touch, rock. And let's go level 2, lift, lower, shift. Then this back foot comes up over an obstacle and touches down, shift. Up over an obstacle, shift. Shift. And up, down, go back. Up, tuck, reach. Up, tuck, reach. And either stay with level 2 or go to level 3. Knee up, heel down. Exaggerated. Exaggerated. Still got your flotation going on in the middle. And back. And step to the middle. Shogun. Hands come up and over. That closes our forward direction movement. This gesture here helps us remember, here's our middle. Everything else relaxed. Rely upon your floating middle. Now let's move back to the one side of the runway, and we're going to do our side steps. So now your outside leg. So this is my right, but I'll say this is my left. So the right leg empty, out, in. Notice that when it goes out, I didn't go into it. The foot goes out, the foot goes in. The body doesn't leave where it is. It's using the left leg like a plug in a socket, plugging into your root, and then this one's free. Now we're going to change that. Put that right foot out, shift. Now this is the leg we're using as the plug in the socket, but let's change back. Now let's use this one plugging into the root. And then this one. And then this one. Plug in socket. Plug in socket. Now the next time you're in the right leg, stay there. Left foot stays empty as it both comes in and goes back out. In and out. Don't let the body weight change. Just the leg stepping. Now bring that leg in. This one might be the most important. Feet very close together. Change so that now the left leg is your support leg and this one's empty. And then change. And this close stance emphasizes down and through, down and through. It also finds this internal mechanism where that change really happens. Find that internal, subtle little wheel that's turning to change from one leg to the other leg, to the other leg. Now, stay in your left, step the right foot out empty. Change into it. Bring that left foot in, keep it empty, and then change into it. Out, change, in, change, out, change. Switch directions. Go back the way we came, but keep the same idea, floating in the middle. One leg full, the other empty. The empty foot is free. Then change that so the other foot's free. Change that so the other foot's free. And I've been using that word instantaneous, that eventually if you practice this, it becomes more and more instantaneous, which does come with a quality of speed, but it's not rushed and it's not sloppy. And it's not rigid, it's still soft. Once more, back the way we came. So only through this certain kind of quality of softness do we have the floating and the swiftness, right? And come back to the middle. Now, be between your chairs. We'll do our rotational steps. So before we go into it, right leg empty, turn it out, turn it neutral, turn it in, pigeon toe. Neutral, out. Notice it can stay empty the whole time. Right? Now skip neutral and just go turn out, turn in, turn out, turn in, turn out, turn in, turn out, and turn in. Back to neutral, change. So you empty this left leg out, neutral, internal, middle or neutral, external, neutral, internal rotation. Now skip neutral, external, internal. See if you can find that pivot in the hip where it's just simple. If the leg is relaxed and loose, and then you turn from the correct place, the whole leg turns. Whole leg turns. This is efficient movement, but it's not rushed. And back to neutral. Now, turn empty right leg, turn it out. Shift onto that leg, turn the body to match where the toes are pointing and bring the left foot alongside it. Do that again. So we're just going to go around to the right. Empty the right foot, turn it out. Shift into that right leg, turn the body, bring the left foot alongside it. Turn out. Shift. This is another one where you can practice, those of you that have been doing this a while, that instantaneous quality of as I empty the right foot, I turn. So it's all one event. As I shift through, I'm turning and I'm bringing left foot. That's a second event. As I empty the right foot, I turn it out, but it stays empty. As I shift, I bring it around. So it's all just wah, wah, happening together. So that's where speed and efficiency and all that come from in Tai Chi. Not from rushing, not from trying to turn it on, but rather from just moving most efficiently. Let's go the other way. Left foot empty, turn it out. Shift, turn, bring the right foot alongside. Empty left foot and turn it out. Shift, rotate, bring the right foot along. Shift without stepping and turn out. Shift, bring it all together. Shift and turn, shift and turn. Let's go around again. Oh. Floating middle, teacup on top of your head. Easy, liquid, fluid, not rushed. And we're back to facing forward at some point, staying there. Now, right leg, except instead of turning out, let's turn it in. Then you shift the weight onto that leg and reorient yourself. Should be a quarter turn to the left. Right leg again, empty it and pigeon toe. And then move on, or shift onto it and quarter turn again to the left. So we're moving around to the left, but it's the right leg that's doing the pigeon toe, and then we're shifting and reorienting. Right leg and reorient. Go around twice. Do your best to feel the floating middle, the one full, one empty, do notice, many of you look like you're standing pretty vertical, but notice if there's any amount of that happening, then it may feel safer because you're seeing the floor, but you're making it much harder on the torso versus finding your middle and just changing and changing. And you're keeping your through line. Let's go the other way. Left foot pigeon, shift and reorient. Pigeon, reorient. Pigeon toe, reorient. Around twice. Just cruising around, floating in the middle. Once you're back facing forward, stay there for just a moment. Now watch me do one round on my own. So it's right leg out, shift onto it and orient, and then add the pigeon toe with the left, so that now in 2 foot moves, I'm facing away from where I was facing, 180 degrees. Then I turn the foot out again. That's 1 foot move. I shift and turn and pigeon toe. And now I'm back to where I started as I shift and turn. So together, we'll do 2 to the right, 2 to the left. 1, take your time, keep the principles at play of floating middle, arms hanging. Rely on going through one leg to your root. The empty foot's the stepping foot, then through that leg. After you get around your second time, stay facing forward and then switch directions. By going left foot, turn out, shifting, turning, pigeon toe, shift and turn, reorient, shift and turn, pigeon toe. So again, to the degree that you can find your central line, then all of a sudden your movement can be so efficient, right? You're just, right? And we're back to middle. Shogun or closing gesture. Wings up over the top. Settle. Now we worked on this one last time. This is a Bagua, which is a martial art practice here. Okay, so we're going to be on our runway again, going this way. So your foot that is closest to the camera should be your left foot. Put it out in front. Shift onto it. Step this foot out, land it. Shift onto it. Step this foot out, land it. Now, your left foot should be in front of the right foot. Shift onto the left foot. Here, we do what's called kobu or hook step. So, hook. So your feet are lining up like that, right? So this foot here is around. And then I let my weight shift into this leg and I turn on this heel. So Karen, you turned away from the camera and that's not it, right? So if you step your right foot around, then your belly button should stay facing forward towards me as you turn open this way. That's correct. So this movement, right? So we're here, shift into this leg and bring the right foot to match. So now we're facing this way. Put that right foot in front, shift, left foot in front, shift, right foot in front. So stay there, right foot is in front. So now shift into the right foot, the left foot comes around and points to the front. And then we turn in place and kind of swivel on that heel. And then now we're pointing back and we bring shoom. So now let's get rid of the extra steps and we just go left foot is in front, shift onto it, right foot does the kobu, hook. So your right toes should be pointing towards me, towards the camera, towards the front. And then you let the weight go into that leg and swivel open. Now we're going that way. Shift and bring the feet together. Then bring that foot out in front. So now it should be your right foot in front. Shift, kobu or hook. So you close everything in a little, which then gives us an opening. So this trains that mechanism, and then we bring it together. Foot in front, shift, kobu, hook. Feel this pigeon-toed position, and then open, and then together. Couple more. And if you're doing it right, you're kind of, as you can see, I'm inching closer and closer towards the camera. So here, and then I'm stepping across, and I'm opening, and then I'm coming together. And then I've moved a little closer to the camera. Kobu, pigeon toe, feel that closed, and then open. It trains an internal mechanism that we want. All right, take a couple side steps back away from the camera, and let's do it again. Should be your right leg if you're using me as a mirror. Shift, hook step. So this hook step means the body closes, everything closes in. And then from that closed state, you can open out together. Footsteps, shift onto it. Kobu, hook, open, together. Out, shift, kobu, everything comes in, open, together. Couple more. Close, open, together. Step. Close, open. One more. And shogun, or closing gesture, up over the top. Settle, settle, settle. Just settle here for a moment. So if you think about what we've done, there's a progression from simple to more complex or more difficult, right? In terms of the brain, in terms of the muscles, in terms of your ability to keep center. So now we add this final challenge for today, which is what I'll call ballistic movement, or like movement that has momentum and force. So empty, fill up your right leg, empty your left foot, and have it floating. So now, rather than what we've done earlier, which is this effortless shift, now you take just a small push and come into that foot, right? And this back foot, notice what happened. It came forward and stayed on the ball of the foot, but it stayed empty. Now I'm going to push off this leg and come back. So now I'm loading up. This leg is like a spring that's been compressed and loaded, and push and advance, an advancing step. And then this is like a retreating step. So we're going push and then having to find our center. and then we push and find our center. Push back, find the center. So cover a little bit of ground, not too much, but not too little. So you don't want it to just be this to where you're not creating any ballistic quality, but you also don't want to put yourself at risk. So push, advance, and gather. So feel the momentum and then contain it. And then feel the momentum and contain it. So when you're going forward, you're going heel toe in this front leg. When you're going back, you're going toe to heel. Toe, heel. 2 more. One more. Advance, retreat. Now switching. So fill the other leg, other foot empty. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see, but you guys keep going forward and back. This foot's empty, this foot's loaded, right? A spring-loaded leg, push. Gather yourself. Then this foot's empty. Ideally, this foot remains empty, so then when you come back, so too does this foot remain empty. Forward, back, forward. It's like a pounce. Pouncing forward, retreating, pounce back. So it's not like a huge jump, right? We're not like up and down and slamming into the ground, but there's a little bit of quality of a shoo, right? And back. Once more. And now sideways. So this foot is empty. Push off and advance sideways. Bring this foot in and keep it empty if you can. Push off sideways. I don't know how many of you are basketball fans, hopefully Warriors fans, but this is basically like a defensive slide in basketball. Sliding to get in front or take a charge or whatever, but it's just a very functional movement of change where you are in space. Change where you are in space. Change. Change. A couple more. And back to middle. Let's finish with just a little bounce. So let your body weight get into the toes, up and down on the heels, softly. Let this loosen up anywhere that you're holding. Keep doing that bounce a little bit. And then come to a soft, loose landing. Thighs go in, out, rock, shake them in and out. So once you get that direction of thighs going in, out, then it's a small range. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Get that loose shake. Then lift one heel. And then as you put that heel down, lift the other heel. And as you put that heel down, lift the other heel. Switch, and then tighten it up so it's very small. And you should feel butt cheeks loose, sacrum loose. You might even be able to feel this all the way up to his neck. And the shimmy, arms. Notice it's these two shoulder gates loose. And then just wrists, forearms, and shogun. And seal. All right, little Taoist bow. So thank you so much, everybody. Questions? We have a couple minutes for questions or issues with anything like that. Feel free. Have a seat comfortably, and you'll have to